after doing the medial lemniscus and the spinal lemniscus, so question may be asked, write a short note on 3 pages on medial lemniscus and 3 pages on the spinal lemniscus. Another lemniscus you have to study in the neuroanatomy part is the lateral lemniscus. Lateral lemniscus. Lemniscus means bundle. Fasciculus means bundle. Crus means bundle. Peduncles mean bundle. So we are using the different words in different parts of the brain or the neuroanatomy, but the meaning is the same. The bundles and bundles of axons, or what is called popularly the nerve fibers. So medial lemniscus is the sensory decussation of posterior column. It forms the medial lemniscus. Then we have done the spinal lemniscus, which is the bundle of, because of spinothalamic, the general sensory sensation from the human body. They ascend upward in the form of, from the spinal cord, they enter into the brain as the spinal lemniscus. Another lemniscus we are doing is the lateral lemniscus. In the lateral lemniscus, as the name suggests, it lies in lateral position. So they are lying in the lateral position and they are concerned with the 8th nerve. What is the name of 8th nerve? What is the name of the 8th nerve? Vestibulo. So it is having 2 components, vestibular and cochlear, starting from the internal ear. Vestibulo-cochlear component. So lateral lemniscus is concerned with the cochlear, or it is concerned with the hearing. It is concerned with the hearing part of the. So what happens during the lateral lemniscus, or what is called auditory pathway? So whenever a question comes, write a note on the auditory pathway or lateral lemniscus, the same thing. We know the external ear start from the tympanic membrane, and tympanic membrane is the part of external ear, and medial to this lies the matchbox, and matchbox is called cavity of middle ear. Matchbox lies. So this is the roof, floor, and posterior wall, anterior wall, lateral wall, and medial. So tympanic membrane is attached to the lateral wall of the middle ear. The cavity of the middle ear is called tympanum, because it contains the smallest bones of the human body and smallest synovial joints of the body lying in the middle ear. It is exactly like the matchbox lying below the pittus part of temporal bone. And what is the 3 ossicles, ear ossicles? Hammer-like, malleus, incus, and stapes. From lateral to medial side, this is the arrangement. MIS, M-I-S, remember. So lateral most is the malleus. The handle of the malleus is touching the tympanic membrane's medial surface. Then incus, and then stapes. Stapes has got a foot plate, and that foot plate is attached to the medial wall of the middle ear. And to this foot plate, what is attached? Snail-like part of the membranous labyrinth or part of internal ear lying in the stick to the medial wall of the tympanic cavity as a what is called snail. As snail is sticking to the wall, same is the snail sticking to the medial wall of the tympanic cavity or middle ear cavity. So this oval window or what is called the foot plate of the stapes is attached to the first coil of the cochlea. This is the cochlea. And this cochlea is filled with the endolymph, and it contains a very special organ of Corti. Organ of Corti with the inner cell and outer cells, helicotrema, you know the structure, tectorial membrane. Remember your classes of the ear, internal in plus 1 and plus 2. Very important. Same is here in the MBBS also. You have to revise everything about the internal ear, middle ear and everything. Much more detail than what you have read it. So this is the cochlea. It is spiral type of the structure. And in this spiral type of the structure, there is also embedded with it the nervous tissue also along with it, between these coils of the cochlea. And this is called spiral ganglion. Spiral ganglion is a ganglion means the cluster of neurons encircle the cochlea, and its central processes of the cochlea, they are joined together to form what is called the cochlear part of the vestibulocochlear nerve. Central, so it is a bipolar cells of the spiral ganglion of Corti. Its central part collects axons to form the cochlear nerve, and its another part goes into the inner and the outer cells of the cochlea, which are sensitive. So what happens when the sound waves, they fall against the tympanic membrane? The tympanic membrane start vibration. So vibration is there. These vibrations of the sound is transmitted to the handle of malleus, which is attached to the tympanic membrane. That is the reason why it is attached. Then it goes to the vibration goes to the incus, then to the stapes. From stapes, the vibration they come into the foot plate, which is present in the oval window. When they reaches here, the endolymph in the cochlea, it start vibrating. A impulse is generated by the helicotrema, tectorial membrane and the inner and outer hair cells, and that impulse is carried by the bipolar cells of the central processes of the spiral ganglion. So this message of the sound comes into the cochlear nerve, and this cochlear nerve, we know this whole of the apparatus where it is lying, under the pitous part of temporal bone. So in the inner slope of there is a internal acoustic meatus, so through which this cochlear nerve comes out, carrying the special sense of sound or hearing. See how it is going from the ear to the brain. Now this going here, and we know this nerve will go at the pontomedullary junction. This is the olive, this is the pyramid, this is the pons, this is superior colliculus, the inferior colliculus. So this is the brain, this is the inferior cerebellar peduncle. So this nerve will enter into the brain stem at the junction of just above the pyramid. The olive, pontomedullary junction. So now inside it goes there, and here lies the on the lateral part of the medulla is called inferior cerebellar peduncle, and here lies two nuclei in relation to the inferior cerebellar peduncle, because we know inferior cerebellar peduncle is going into cerebellum. So on the inferior cerebellar peduncle there lies the two nuclei. One is called dorsal cochlear nucleus, other is called the ventral cochlear nucleus. So two nuclei are visible on the surface of inferior cerebellar peduncle, the dorsal and the ventral cochlear nuclei. So now this nerve will dip into the pontomedullary junction, and from here it will bifurcate into two and go to the dorsal and the ventral cochlear nuclei, both carrying the sound sensations. Question arises, why they are two if there is same sound is going? Answer is that the dorsal cochlear nucleus, it receives the sound of higher frequency, and ventral will carry the low frequency sound waves. So sometime we are shouting, somebody is shouting, and somebody is very, very low in the speech. So both the frequencies are different. So there is a different nuclei are there. So this is the first order neuron. Same. Then comes you have to make the heading course. In the course, the first order neuron, same. All sensations, general or special, they go to the stepwise. First order, second order, third order. So first order neurons are nothing but these are the central processes of the bipolar cells of spiral ganglion of the internal ear that we have explained. These are the first order neurons, and they reach at the pontomedullary junction. From here they go to the dorsal cochlear nucleus and ventral cochlear nucleus, and they relay here, and from here second order neurons start. After the relay, the second order neurons they start, and this is the rule that second order neuron they cross. So second order neurons they cross to the opposite side. So because of the crossing of the two nuclei and their axons, so a network is formed. Reticulum is formed of the nerve fibers which resembles the trapezium-like. And because of the shape, it is called the trapezoid body. And this is occurring in the lower pons. Lower part of the pons, it is formed. Now we know pons is like this. This is the olive pyramid of the medulla. This is the inferior cerebral peduncle going into cerebellum. And this is the pyramidal decussation. This is the upper body of the C1, end of the medulla and start of the. So this nerve enters here, cochlear nerve, both the side. And inside the inferior cerebral peduncle there are ventral and dorsal nuclei. Both the sides same. Cochlear nuclei. The ventral and the dorsal. So these fibers of the cochlear nerve, after entering, they divide into both the sides and they relay there. Now second order neurons they also start. So in the lower part of the inside the pons, dorsally, they go to the opposite side. Same is here. So they cross, and with the crossing is trapezium-like structure is formed. It is called the trapezoid body in the lower pons. And pons, I have told you, pons is like the with the basilar sulcus. And this trapezoid body itself is having a nucleus of trapezoid. So they relay into the nuclei of the in the trapezoid body. They are scattered nuclei. This is called the nucleus of trapezoid body. So they relay here, and along this another nucleus is present near the body of the trapezoid. This is called the superior olivary nucleus. Superior olivary nucleus. So few fibers, they also relay into the superior olivary nucleus as well. And from here, third order neurons start. This was the first order. This is second order. After the release, they come third order. So third order neurons, they ascend upward from the trapezoid body. When they ascend upward in the upper pons, this bundle is now named as the lateral lemniscus. So they are called the lateral lemniscus is the name given to them. And what lies above this? What lies above the pons is the superior colliculus and inferior colliculus. Superior colliculus, inferior colliculus, the tectum part of the midbrain, the dorsal surface. And what is the function of the superior colliculus? What is the function of superior? As for, and what is the function of inferior? Hearing. So as they ascend upward, which come first? So it is the function is ear. This is how to remember it. The upper one are eye, lower is the, because lateral lemniscus has to come from below upward. So these neurons of the lateral lemniscus, they relay here in the, and from here third order neurons they start in the trapezoid nucleus and superior olivary nucleus. And from here, the third order neuron, they ascend upward. They are called lateral lemniscus. They have to write whenever a question comes, stepwise, first order, second order, third order. So they relay, ascend upward as a lateral lemniscus, and then they relay in the superior, inferior colliculus. A few of the fibers, they go to the posterior to the thalamus. Now posterior to the thalamus, we know there are two button-like structures belonging to the pulvinar, or what is called medial geniculate body, and so lateral geniculate body was belong to the eye. So lateral geniculate body is eye, and medial geniculate body is related to hearing. So most of the fibers, a few goes to the superior, inferior colliculus, most fibers they go to the medial geniculate body, and they relay here. After they relay, what start? Fourth order neuron. So next, fourth order neuron they start from the medial geniculate body, which is auditory in function. And from here, a bundle of the fibers they start. go below the lentiform nucleus. And what they constitute? The sublentiform part of the internal capsule. So 4th degree they form the sublentiform part. Sub means below, lentiform means lentiform nucleus. So these fibers, they go below the lentiform nucleus. And who is waiting? The gray matter. So they reach their destination ultimately into the superior temporal gyrus middle part and the dorsal surface. Because we know this is the superior temporal gyrus, this is middle temporal gyrus, and this is the inferior temporal gyrus. So what is the function of the temporal lobe? Auditory. So in the middle of the superior temporal gyrus here, when we go deep into the lateral sulcus, there lies the 2 areas, auditory areas. What is the Brodmann's number? Remember, 41 and 42. So 41 and 42 Brodmann's number, they are belonging to this is called auditory area of the special sense organ. So starting from the tympanic membrane, now where they reach the conscious level of the brain, that is the middle part of the dorsal surface of superior temporal gyrus. So this is the course or the journey. So when they reach and relay here, then we see the sound. So this is how you have to do this. Applied of this lateral lemniscus is few reflexes are there related to this, which we already discussed also with the eye also. One is the conjugate movements of the eye. Conjugate movements. So in the conjugate movement, what happens? When the hearing fibers, sense of hearing reaches the superior inferior colliculus, from the inferior colliculus, these fibers in the brachium of the inferior colliculus, after the relay here, they go into the brachium of lateral sulcus. And a few fibers from here, they go to the superior colliculus as well. So superior and inferior colliculus, they are interconnected. And through the brachium, these fibers, they are going to the spinal cord as tectospinal fibers. They descend down into the upper cervical region. So because of these fibers reaching the spinal cord cervical region, so whenever the sound waves reaches the inferior colliculus and superior colliculus, a message goes to the brain, spinal cord. So whenever there is a sudden sound of violent sound is there, high pitched sound is there, as you are studying in your room, suddenly some barat is going on in the street. So there is a very loud sound is there. So reflexively your concentration goes towards the street. So eyes are also moving, your head, neck is also moving. So this is called the conjugate movements. Reflex movement of the head and neck with the eye after hearing the sound. As when there is a raining and there is a sudden electricity coming from the clouds. So suddenly you go see the light. So again it is same as the sound. So this is the reflex. Conjugate movement of the head is the reflex of the auditory pathways. It is only going to the upper cervical region, because upper cervical region, we know they are responsible for movement of muscles of sternocleidomastoid and trapezius. So they go to the upper 3 or 4 segments of the cervical. That is cause of the movement of your body or head and neck towards the source of the sound. Sudden sound is there. That is the reflex. So this is how we do the applied anatomy or the reflex actions related to the auditory or the hearing pathway. Another hearing reflex which is also present is depending upon the pitch of the sound. So depending upon the higher pitch or the lower pitch of the sound, our body also or the internal ear also reacts. We know there is a 5th nucleus nerve is there, 7th nerve is there, and 8th nerve. What is the similarity of these 3 nerves? They are all nuclei, they are present in the pons. Facial nerve nucleus is lying near the motor nucleus of trigeminal. And vestibulocochlear nucleus we have seen, the vestibular area, again in the pons as well as in the medulla. And cochlear nuclei we have seen, they are present at the pontomedullary junction. So they are all near. And all these cranial nerve nuclei, they are interconnected through a longitudinal axon. They are called medial longitudinal fasciculus. Medial longitudinal fasciculus. So how the 5th nerve is related to the ear? How the 7th nerve is related to the ear? 8th nerve, everybody knows it is related to the ear. So anybody who can answer what is the relation of the 5th nerve with the hearing? You have done recently. Fifth nerve motor component, what is the nerve called? Mandibular branch. Mandibular nerve is the only motor component. All ophthalmic, maxillary, and most of the time mandibular is also mixed. So mandibular nerve comes out of the foramen ovale and divide into anterior trunk and, so this diagram you should know so many things. Ovale, male. So it has got 15 branches. Main trunk 5, anterior trunk 5, posterior trunk 5. That's how I remembered it till now. One of its branch goes into foramen spinosum. Is called for nervus spinosum. It is sensory. So main trunk has got 1 sensory and 4 motor. The anterior trunk is having opposite 4 motor, 1 sensory. Posterior trunk of the mandibular branch is opposite 4 sensory, 1 motor. Nerve to mylohyoid is the only motor branch of posterior. The lingual, auriculotemporal and inferior alveolar, they are all sensory. That is, you have to make the diagram as well as you have to remember it. Which is sensory, which is motor. So branch of the main trunk of the mandibular nerve, it supplies 2 muscles. Tensor, blank, class is 0. Very poor response. Tensor tympani and tensor palatii. You supply 2 smooth muscles. Tensor tympani, so tensor tympani, tympanic membrane. Handle of malleus is attached with a muscle. That is called tensor tympani. Contraction of this muscle causes the tightness of the tympanic membrane. Tensor supplied by branch of mandibular main trunk. Other branch is nerve to the tensor palatii. Then there is another muscle which is called stapedius, attached to the stapes, foot plate, cochlea, intimately related to the oval window. What is nerve supply of stapedius? Facial. This is the relation of the ear with the fifth and seventh nerve, you should know. So because of the stimulation of these nerves, the tympanic nerve becomes tense. Stapedius pull the stapes. When it occurs reflexively when there is a high pitch sound is there and there are chances of a rupture of bursting of tympanic membrane. So whenever a very large sound is there, our tympanic membrane may have ruptured. In order to prevent it, these two muscles supplied by different nerve supply, they are stimulated. And the stimulation will prevent or they will inhibit or they will suppress the sound waves, high pitch falling on our tympanic membrane. So they are inhibitory in function, this reflex. So these two muscles, they bring the protective phenomena. So these two things you should know.